You're listening to Bold Hearts, Big Moves, the show for female entrepreneurs who want it all. A thriving business, deep self-love, and fulfilling relationships. I'm Erin Anderson, and each week we will dive into how to set stronger boundaries, make empowered choices, and show up in life and business with boldness, authenticity, and heart. Because let's be real, the money you make is directly related to the love that you have for yourself and the strength of your relationships. So if you're ready to lead with love and make those big moves with those bold hearts, let's dive in. Hey, my loves! Welcome to another episode of Bold Hearts, Big Moves. This is the podcast for the female entrepreneur that wants all the big things and wants to make all the big, bold moves because she is working from a very authentic place. And we're going to talk about how to heal from trauma, how to make sure that you are able to operate your business in an authentic way. So that way you can create the 6-7+ figures that you are wanting to create in your business. Because I'm really passionate about both helping women, like Christian women, heal from trauma, relationship trauma, etc., like past trauma, all types of trauma. I'm very passionate about helping you heal from those things, as well as creating cash, because they go hand in hand. Self-love and healing trauma does go together. Okay. But today we're going to be talking about the beauty of stepping back. And what I mean by the beauty of stepping back, it is simply this. Sometimes we can be doing all of the right things in our business, that we are doing everything that our coaches are telling us to do. We are doing everything that we're reading about in books, where we are doing all of the things. And sometimes our needles are just not moving forward. We're not getting closer towards our goals. And we're feeling frustrated. We feel like we're spinning our wheel. Maybe we're feeling a little bit like we're throwing spaghetti at a wall. I have so been there, and honestly, pretty recently even. And I will tell you that I have noticed there is a lot of power in stepping back, because when we step back, we can gain clarity in what our next moves are. So what does stepping back actually look like? And, that is the beauty. This is the beautiful question right here, because a lot of times we think that stepping back means we stop all marketing, we stop doing everything in our business, we just let it fall, and we build from the ground up. And yes, sometimes it does mean that. I have a good friend that realized that what she was doing in her business wasn't working for what she was actually wanting to do in her life, and so she sold the whole thing, right? And she's not sure what her next move is, but she's stepping back. But for me, I know for a fact that I want to coach. I want to help women heal from trauma, create lasting relationships in their lives, and create more cash, because that's exciting. Like, I want more cash. I want to go get me that Ford Explorer. I want to get me, not get me, I want to take my family on vacations. I want to help other women that are struggling. Like there's so many things I can do with money. And so of course I want more of it. And I think a lot of you listening to this podcast can also relate to that, right? That you do want to do something amazing and spectacular in your life and in your business, that's the whole reason why you did business in the first place, right? But stepping back is kind of a beautiful feminine trait. It's retreating into ourselves for clarity and answers. And sometimes that means, stopping doing what we've been doing and knowing like where we're feeling that frustration. Like, so for me, I was feeling really, really frustrated and flustered even in social media marketing, scheduling posts and having posts go out and et cetera, et cetera. I wasn't really in love with it anymore, but yet I was doing it because I was told it would work for what I wanted to create. And I've created some amazing things in my business. So I'm not saying poo poo me or poor me or anything like that. But it wasn't creating what I wanted in my business. And I didn't want to spend any more time on things that were draining my energy. And so I stopped posting on social media for a bit. And I stepped back and I gave myself about a month actually to get clear on what it was I really, really wanted to do. And as I sat back, I started really, really assessing my yeses and my nos. And you guys know that this is a major thing in boundaries, your yeses and your nos, like where your values lie. And if you guys want more clarity on that, feel free to please message me or message the show. You can do that. That is, there's a little thing, a little link on the bottom of the descriptions that says message the show. And you can message me the word boundaries. You can message me the word boundaries to Erin Anderson Official at Instagram, or you can also message me on my Facebook page, which is Erin Anderson Betrayal Trauma Coaching. Hopefully soon, just Erin Anderson Coaching. But you can message me boundaries in any one of those places, and I will tell you about my Unbreakable Boundaries course. Because we go deeper into this concept, which is understanding your yeses and your nos. Okay. And when I stepped back, what had happened is I was pushing and pushing and pushing towards a no, even though people were telling me, like these coaches that have made 6-7 figures, they were telling me to do this because that's what they did to create their 6 and 7 figures. And yet I wasn't feeling it. It wasn't feeling aligned and it was draining my energy. And so I started looking at the things that I really did love to do. And I started saying, is this a yes? Does it feel like an 8 or a 9 to me? And so things like my podcast, right? Like recording my podcast episodes and getting my podcast out there. Is that an 8 or a 9 activity? Yes. Okay, so my podcast is a way that I am going to be present in the world. Podcasts, by the way, I'm opening up again the other side of the struggle. That was actually a very big surprise to me because I had planned on keeping the other side of the struggle like I was going to shut that down and just keep it shut and just work with Bold Hearts Big Moves, but I've actually felt the pull to start podcasting in the other side of the struggle again. And I think a lot of it is because I love helping women heal from trauma, and I also love helping them create cash, and in doing it in an authentic and centered way. And so both the other side of the struggle and Bold Hearts Big Moves are going to kind of intertwine a little bit, but Bold Hearts Big Moves is more for like creating business in a centered, non-traumatic, authentic way, whereas the other side of the struggle is going to be more for helping women heal from trauma so that way they can create their next steps. So that was a big yes for me. Posting more videos on YouTube, like doing Instagram reels, like being visible in those ways felt like a much stronger yes to me than posting in groups over and over and over again. I just wasn't feeling it. And the more aligned I have been, the more clients I'm calling in, the more colleagues I'm calling in, the more opportunities to collaborate I'm calling in. And I am being more authentic with who I am. And, I got thinking too, the ability to step back for a little bit and really, really see what is and what isn't working in my own business. And this is what I'm talking about when I say step back. Take an inventory of what is and what is not working. And if something is not working and people are like, well, this is the way to do it, ask yourself, are there other ways? Am I confident on camera? I am. I'm really confident on camera, right? I'm confident in my podcast. I've been doing it for 4 years now. And I'm learning to love creating Facebook Reels. There's some really good stuff in there. I'm loving this stuff. And when we can love the way we market, we can find a more niched audience, a much more true audience. And now, but let me also say this much too. If you're new to coaching, if you're new to the business world, if you're brand new, there is still something to be said about learning how to write good copy and a good Facebook post, right? Because at some point, and I'm just about to that point, at some point, we might want to turn over the marketing piece of our business to someone else. And you're going to need to know what your voice sounds like in writing, as well as like in reels and in podcasts and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I still think it's a good thing to do, but it wasn't something that was standing out for me. It wasn't aligning. So if you are looking at the possibility of stepping back for just a period of time, let me say this, okay? It is not a complete step back. It is getting really clear with what is and what is not working and why those things aren't working. What is it about those things that aren't lighting you up, that aren't getting you excited, that aren't standing out to you? What is it about those things that need to change? Okay. I actually had a client who, after a really messy divorce, a really, really messy divorce, and years and years and years of emotional, mental, and spiritual trauma at the hands of her not so nice former husband. Everybody was telling her that she had to get back into her business, that she had to get back into her business, that she had to get back into her business because she was a major YouTuber. And when all this went down, her whole business shut down. But it didn't feel right. And as a matter of fact, talking with her, she realized that how she felt when she was with her former husband was a lot of the way that she felt in her YouTube business. She didn't want to continue that channel anymore because it had too many memories of negative relationships, toxic relationships. And so she's given herself the time to process, the time to sit back and really, really think about what it is that she wants in life and what it is that she wants to create. For her, it was an entire step back. But as she has stepped back, I've noticed her creativity starting to awaken again, and she's getting way more dialed in with what she wants to do as a YouTuber. You don't have to leave business, especially as it's kind of like taking the girl out of the country, but you can't take the country out of the girl. You can take yourself out of entrepreneurship for a tiny little bit, but you can't take entrepreneurship out of you. If that is really seriously who you are, if that is how you see yourself as an entrepreneur, as a strong, wonderful, beautiful business owner, that's not going anywhere. And so if you have to take a step back for just a little bit to get clarity on what it is you want to do, or how you want to do it, or how you want to make this better, then it's okay to do it. So some things you might want to consider if stepping back is for you, okay? A, how far do you want to step back and for how long? For me, I didn't want to step back completely from my business. I knew some things weren't working and some things were making my energy kind of funky, and I didn't love that. And so I needed to take a step back to see what those things were and to assess, right? But I gave myself a timeline of a month to do it, right? The second thing is especially if you are a woman entrepreneur, listen to your intentions, your intuitions, right? What does your intuition tell you? Your intuition is one of those things that are going to help you align with your yeses and nos. That it is major in boundary creation. It is major in business creation. If you remember my podcast with Taylor Proctor, she talks about her I move method, and the first thing that she talks about is intuition. Check your intuition. What is it saying about your business and where, like, the things that you love about it and the things you don't? Right? For me, I love coaching women into healing trauma and really getting them to reconnect with themselves and to see themselves in a whole new light and to make their boundaries impenetrable to whatever negative dark forces are out there. I love that stuff. And then I love seeing them take off and create businesses and create more money for themselves and for their families, to set more boundaries and to really discover who they are. Even talking about it, I freaking light up. I love it. I love it. I'm not going anywhere because I freaking love this. But as I improve and I build on me and I see me and I get better, my business is going to improve, it's going to change, it's going to grow, it's going to evolve, it's going to do better too, and we're going to scale. This is what scaling is, okay? But that also meant that I needed to give up some things that people were saying I had to do because it was no longer working for me. And doing social media posts, it was making me sick. I couldn't do it anymore. I just, I couldn't do it because I wanted to do more things like this. I wanted to stand out on podcasts. I wanted to stand out as a speaker. I wanted to be on video. I wanted to do Instagram Reels. I wanted to do YouTube. I wanted to do those things, and that was enough. It's enough. I don't have to do daily posts in my Facebook group, doing emails to my email list, connecting with my warm audience. That is what I want. And to bring more people into my warm audience by being authentically me, and that doesn't always come across on a page. It was a no, and I let it go. Okay? So what are your yeses and nos? What is working for you and what is not working for you? Another thing too is if you're new to entrepreneurship, I would also tell you to balance your time very, very well, because one of the greatest temptations that will come to you as a brand new entrepreneur is to spend all of your time on your business, and you'll burn out really, really fast. Make sure you set yourself time limits. Okay? And that's another thing too with stepping back is there is a time where I step back from my desk every single day so I can spend time with my kids and wear other hats and be other things than just a business owner. I get to be a chicken tender. I freaking love my chickens, right? You guys have heard me talk about my chickens. I love my chickens. I get to be a mom. I get to be a woman. I get to be creative. I get to I get to be a homemaker. I get to do other things besides just keep my nose to the grindstone. Because honestly, that's not an abundant mindset anyway. If I feel like I'm always having to keep my nose to the grindstone and my mind in my business and ignore everything else, that's not really a balanced mindset or a balanced actions, and neither balanced actions or balanced mindsets imbalanced actions and imbalanced mindsets are a scarcity problem. If, however, we believe there's enough and that it's going to come to us and that our efforts are enough or that our efforts are just going to get better, then we tend to balance our time and our money and ourselves in a much healthier way. So we're not burning out on family and we're not burning out on business and we're not burning out on all the hats that we tend to wear as women. Shrinking back, not shrinking as like our voice or as a person, but just shrinking and turning into ourselves a little bit for clarity is a very natural feminine thing to do if we are doing it for clarity, coming into ourselves. And if you think about a flower that blooms during the daytime but also closes up at night, that's a lot what femininity is like. If we're feeling the frustration and the heat, that is a time to kind of close up for just a minute, close up shop, and get clarity. Step back for a minute and really assess your whole situation. And the last thing I would tell you to do is to take an assessment of all of the things that you need to do. What would you rather be doing? And why? Is there time for that? And if not, if your business is taking too much of it, or you feel like you're spinning your wheels or throwing spaghetti at a wall, what you're really saying is somewhere your time is not working for you, and you need to find out why. And what is the thought pattern behind it? Now, if you guys would love some help with that, feel free to reach out to me either through you can message this podcast, or you can reach out to me through my Instagram channel, Erin Anderson Official, or you can reach out to me on my Facebook page, Erin Anderson Betrayal Trauma Coaching. And you can say help with boundaries, okay? Drop help with boundaries. And I will remember that what we want to do when we're talking about help with boundaries is that you and I need to talk about how we can help you make your time work for you better. Help you organize your time so that way you can spend time on your business in a much more authentic, dialed in way, as well as give yourself time for the other things that you want to do and value. Okay, my loves? All right. And so also, there is one more thing. My good friend Kushla and I are going to be opening up the Unashamed Life Coach School. We're opening up enrollment for that right now. So if you have been wanting to do life coaching, health coaching, maybe you want to do parent coaching, trauma coaching, business coaching, whatever kind of coaching you want to do, marketing coaching, and you want to do it in a trauma-informed way because you understand that trauma is one of the things that really holds people back the most. If you're ready to step into that, come and join us for the Unashamed Life Coach School 2026. We are going to be teaching you our methods. We're going to be teaching you about boundaries. We're going to teach you about how to build a sustainable coaching business, and we're going to teach you how to do it in a trauma-informed way. And so if that's something that you would like to do, and if you want to help your clients really move through their blocks in a really, really quick way because you are trauma-informed, make sure that you also send Unashamed Life Coach School to either the show, Erin Anderson Official on Instagram, or Erin Anderson Betrayal Trauma Coaching on Facebook, and we will reach back out to you with all the details on the Unashamed Life Coach School. All right, my loves, until next time, I will see you soon, and also go check out the 2 new episodes on the other side of the struggle. See you soon, guys. Bye.
All right, Boundary Boss Babes. I'm super excited that you tuned in with me today. Make sure you tune in again next week as we chat about more Boundary Boss Babe topics. We're going to get into so many other things about how to set boundaries with your business, how to set boundaries with your relationships, so you can truly have the time, the money, and the flexibility that you are seeking. So tune in next week. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast. Let your other Boss Babe friends know about it. And also, if you've got any questions, make sure you submit them into the podcast by clicking on the Send Us a Text message at the bottom of the podcast description. I look forward to seeing you guys next week. See you later, Boss Babes.